So, hello there. We got some new cards, which we're of course going to look at. So, let's just get right into it. We'll start with a new forest card, Live Banquet. Or Banquet? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Draw 2 cards. If at least 2 other cards were played this turn, summon a Furious Mountain Deity. Then if at least 8 other cards were played this turn, summon 2 Deepwood Anomalies. So this is just draw for forest. It's basically a replacement for harvest season. It is quite okay. I mean, you can get a lot of cards in one turn with forest, and the cards you're summoning are okay-ish. If you get the first effect, for the people who are not so long into this game, you will get the Furious Mountain Deity, which is a okay status follower with an interesting effect. I mean, when I started this game, I thought this one was borderline OP. Well, times have changed. The interesting effect is when you have played more than 8 cards, which is Deepwood Anomaly, which basically, when it hits, is a finisher. It's interesting in my opinion, not something that cannot be cleared. I mean, there are 2 of them, which is okay, but I'm not too sure about it. Right now, 8 cards in one turn is not something you're gonna see too often, but at least sometimes. I think it might be an interesting deck to play with. The problem is they will have to survive one turn, so it's not an OTK. But we'll see what happens. Okay, let's go with the Sword Craft card next. Ilmisuna, Riot Hawker. Rally 15, recover 1 play point, 1 evolution point of course. And evolve, deal X damage to an enemy follower. X equals the number of allied followers in play. Well, in my opinion, this is not that great. The card in itself is okay, but Rally 15 is rather late, and it doesn't really fit into all decks, because Evo Sword, at the point where you got the 15 rallies, it most likely doesn't need any evolves, because basically everything is evolving by itself. And the Evo effect, deal X damage to an enemy follower, no, it's just not that great. Well, not too sure about this card, but we'll see. So, Runie, Resolute Diviner. It's another spell boost card. Spell boost the cards in your hand 1 time. If this card has been spell boosted at least 1 time, draw a card. Then if it has been spell boosted at least 4 times, deal 3 damage to a random enemy follower. 7 times, 3 damage to the enemy leader, restore 3 defense to your leader. Then 10 times, put 3 Runie Resolute Diviners into your hand. Well, this is interesting, but right now Spell Boost isn't that a good place? Maybe with a Linkle you will get a boost in spell boost decks, but so far it doesn't look too good. I mean, I remember when spell boost was considered OP due to its storm and board presence, but right now it's just kinda okay-ish. I have never seen it once this season, so might be interesting. Right now, not really. Filene, Absolute Zero, Fanfare. Deal 1 damage to all enemy followers. Put a White Frost Whisper into your hand. This is some board control for Dragon. It might help against aggro. And of course, the White Frost Whisper is not a bad card, because it will destroy basically everything thanks to her effect. Evolve, put a White Frost Whisper into your hand, change its cost to 0 to 1. Yeah, of course, that is okay. All in all, not a bad card, but I would not consider it overpowered. But yeah, It might see some play if more aggro decks keep coming up. Nightscreech. Bloodcraft card. Summon a forest bat. If Wrath is active for you, evolve it and draw 1 card. Otherwise, deal 1 damage to your leader. Well, I mean, if you get Wrath active, it's a cycle. If you doesn't have it active, it's a 1-drop. It's okay. It might see some play, but it doesn't seem overly broken. But yeah. Now, of course, it's ping, which is for Wrath deck also okay. So it might be used. I do not think that this is too bad. This is an interesting one. It's a Havencraft Amulet, Temple of Heresy. Countdown 9. At the start of your turn, if you have more evolution points than your opponent, subtract 1 from this amulet's countdown. You have 0 evolution points on turns you are unable to evolve. Last words, randomly put a Prince of Darkness or a Prince of Cocytus into your hand and change its cost to 0. So, while this in theory sounds funny, it is actually not that great anymore. The Prince of Darkness deck is just weak right now, even if you get it out early, and the Prince of Cocytus deck might also not be enough to actually be that dangerous. I mean, of course, it's an interesting concept, and I will definitely play it, but I'm not too sure that this will be too good. But yeah, no, I do not think that this will be a good card, but it will be interesting. Next, Havencraft card. Rather brilliant. Ward, standard stats, give your leader the following effect. At the end of your turn, deal X damage to the enemy leader. X equals your current turn number minus 5. If the value is less than 0, will not cause damage. Not stackable, which is okay. So this card, in my opinion, is interesting. At turn 5 you deal 0 damage. Turn 6 1, 7 2, 8 3. And this might be just the finishing power that Haven needs. Because in a lot of cases you will get your opponent's low depending on what deck you lose, and then you run out of steam. This prevents that. It is not as annoying as Voldane because it doesn't ramp that hard, but it's still a good card, so I think I like this card. I'm actually curious if this will be good. I think it will. Yeah, and these are basically the cards so far. There are a couple of them coming. So far, it is an okay-ish mini expansion. Doesn't seem to be too game-breaking or anything, but we'll see what happens. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in the next one. Bye!